Welcome to my world. Come on in and make yourselves at home. Welcome to my life. I know everything's gonna be all right. Welcome to my world. Oh, won't you come on in? Welcome to my life. It's known as the Tiger's Den. Greetings to all of my subscribers. I want to thank you for being with me for as long as you have, and the new subscribers that's coming on in. We want to say greetings and thank you for your time. This is from Toothless and the moderators. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. Greetings. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. I'd like to thank everybody who has been watching my videos. I'm overwhelmed with joy and gratefulness. I've been covering the debacle in Georgia with the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis. And it has saddened me as a woman how this case is turning out. I say as a woman because I am a woman and a mother, a sister, an aunt, a cousin, a friend. And we as women have it pretty hard today. A lot of people think that we really don't understand life when we are the givers of life. So there is no way that we cannot understand life. But some of the things we do and some of the people we listen to may determine how we react or respond to situations. I've been watching the hearings and I was very impressed with the Honorable Ashleigh Merchant. In all honesty, their titles are honorable. Their very positions, the profession that they chose. You know, some people say that I didn't choose this, it chose me. I think that's my life, what I do. I've been in public service my whole life, basically. And it is a joy and a pleasure to give to others. Yet it can also be painful when you give your all and it seems that no one appreciates it and they kind of criticize you for it. But that is life and we continue with life. I'm so happy that my videos are now beginning to go out and people are seeing and hearing my thoughts because I came to YouTube to share me, my life, my journey, my experiences, my wisdom, my rights, my wrongs, me. So some may agree, some may disagree. And I don't have a problem with either way. I do ask if you leave messages, if you would, be respectful. I don't agree to disagree with anyone. I just disagree and move forward. Time is too far spent. Our country is in shambles. We as a people need to come together for righteousness' sake. So I want to spotlight Miss Ashleigh Merchant, and I should say Mrs., because I think her husband did a dynamic job on the closing. And when I saw them and realized that that was her husband, it reminded me of one of my favorite animals that I love to watch, which are the lions. And the lioness, we know, the matriarch, leads the pride. And most of the women that fight with her are her sisters and her daughters and her sons until they get a certain age. But they fight as a family. And of course, the king of the jungle, he's just laying around protecting the territory. But when the lioness and her pride can't bring down, I'm going to say, the buffalo, wildebeest is what they call it over there. And sometimes he has to join in. And that's what I saw in that tag team with Attorney Merchant and Attorney Merchant. And I thought he did an excellent job. I'm not an attorney, nor do I practice law. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor, a psychiatrist, but I am a mother. And we have to be a little bit of all of it. We have to do what we have to do to make things do. And so I want to present to you Miss Ashleigh Merchant, Georgia defense attorney subpoenaed to appear before state committee investigating Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. And she says Fani. I try to respect people and say their names the way they say them, but sometimes I do get them wrong. And so for that, I say forgive me, because I'm sure I'm going to be saying Fanny, because to me that's what that says. But you know, a name is what the person says that their name is, not what I think it is. This article was written by Nick Valencia, Jason Morris, and Zachary Cohen with CNN. It was updated 9:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, March 4th, 2024. That beautiful picture that you see of Attorney Merchant, it says Attorney Ashleigh Merchant speaks during a hearing at the Fulton County Courthouse on February 15th, 2024 in Atlanta. And of course, y'all know that's when all of this started before the public eye. Defense attorney Ashleigh Merchant has been subpoenaed to appear before a Georgia State Senate committee hearing on Wednesday as it investigates the actions of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Merchant confirmed to CNN that she had been subpoenaed for the hearing, which will be live streamed. The Georgia Legislative Committee, formed in January to investigate the Fulton County District Attorney, said they plan to issue subpoenas as they investigate Willis, the Democratic state prosecutor who brought the racketeering case against Donald Trump and his allies for their actions after the 2020 election. Merchant, the defense attorney for a Trump co-defendant, is the first person to be issued a subpoena by the committee. He initially launched the allegations of an improper relationship against Willis and Nathan Wade, the lead prosecutor on the case. The controversy has threatened to undermine the case against Trump in Georgia. At the committee's first meeting in February, State Senator Bill Cowsert, the Republican chairman, laid out plans for subpoenas and depositions as part of the investigation into alleged misconduct by Willis. Cowsert said the panel already has heard from whistleblowers, but did not elaborate on what information they provided. He said the committee intends to dig into any credible allegations, no matter how long the investigation takes. And so they're going to be live streaming her at this hearing with the state Senate committee. So that's going to be very interesting. And so I thought I better make a video and just put this out. I know everybody is covering the story, and I love the way a lot of people are covering the story. I just tend to cover a little bit different, the things that interest me. I love to read, and I read a lot, and I advocate for people, so I'm more on the advocacy side, even when I tell a story, and Lord knows I can tell a story. But I'm more on the details, the inside, what's really going on. Because we know a lot of this stuff that we see and we hear are kind of like just symptoms to a problem, kind of like what goes on in this country. We have the feminists, we have the city girls, we have the boss chicks, we have the soccer moms, we have all kind of women. But what I would like for us to realize is that we're very powerful if we work together. And that's because we are the givers of life. We are the matriarchs. We are the first teachers, the first nurturers. Everybody that comes under us or come through us learn from us. And then, of course, they learn along the way, and then they have their own minds. But a lot of the things we see that's happening, it's because sometimes we are so busy trying to help everybody else, we neglect ourselves. And I know one language that does not lie, and that's body language. No matter how we pretend to be happy, or whatever we're pretending to be at the time, feeling good, whatever it is, the body doesn't lie. And children watch us. I'm a big proponent of children because they're our future. And I'm 65 now. And I waited until I was 63 before I even endeavored to use my YouTube platform. I've been on YouTube since about 2013, but I didn't start using my platform until I was 63, 65, 2 years ago, going on 3 years now. And I was really inspired by a young man that I thought was truly true to what he said. Turned out to be different, but life is different. That goes with this next story I'm going to tell about Ashleigh Merchant. There is an article in Newsweek, and this article was published also on March 4th, 2024 at 5:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm also going to share a picture with you guys so you all can see what I'm talking about. I normally would show the article in which I'm reading from, but I had cataract surgery last year, and so I use reading glasses when I'm on the computer or when I'm reading, and they do pretty good, but sometimes here lately, I just had the surgery over a year ago. I'm approaching a year actually, but I'm having a few little floaters, and they're not like the dark spots. They're kind of like the cloudy ones that I was seeing before they did the cataract surgeries. So sometimes it seems like I'm just making up words or just seeing words that are not there. So that's why I did not put it up. I just thought I'd read it. But one of the content creators that I knew very well, and he supported me when I was being bullied on YouTube, and he just told me that it helps to give credibility, and I know that that's true in what he's saying, and so that's why I show it. But I'm also just going to give the credit to the people that did the work, and I greatly appreciate them. I'm grateful for the Fair Use Act, that we can use some of the, if not all, it's according to what you're using it for and how you use it, of copyrighted material. And it is for education, for scholarship, for criticism, for critiquing, and for teaching. And of course, that's what I like to do, is teach, share. Hopefully that it will resonate with someone, and maybe they can take something that I've said and look it up and start on their journey. I started about 11 years ago on a journey wanting to know who were we before we were slaves. I know life had to be different because of the way we've been treated all of our lives, and me for 65 years. So for me to pretend there is no racism, that would be totally, totally untrue. Anytime a person controls these areas of your life, and you can give this compliment to Mr. Neely Fuller, and it is starting with your economics, your education, your entertainment, your labor. That's four. And what you try to do in order to keep it in memory, you try to do it alphabetically, and you can kind of almost keep up with it. And so you do your politics, your religion, your sex, and war. So I missed one. It's one somewhere that I missed. But anytime you control those things, and that's Mr. Neely Fuller who came up with that, then you can't be racist. Now, we all have prejudice, and you can be prejudiced, and you can say a lot of bigoted things, but racism is a status, just like black and white, or political legal statuses. They're not human beings. Every European can pretty much tell you where their grandfather or their grandmother came from when they came to this place called America. And then they tell us we came over on a boat, but a lot of us were indigenous to this land. And we are Asiatic, Moorish Americans. You can accept that. You don't have to. It's okay. I don't have a problem with that. That's just what I found in my research. We're the people they gave what they call name tags. They call us, Negro, colored, African American, nigger. They call us all kind of things. And we're none of that, because none of that ties to the land. And as we all know, we're creatures of the land. And there was one point in time when the whole world was known as Asia. And so that's tied to the land. And this America was once known as Amexem, Olmec. So it's so much that goes into this human story. But if we all realize that we're just all human, that's it. One race, human. The others are broken down in ethnicities and culture, nations, if you will. And nations comes from nativity. And you know that through all of us having the same birthmark, which is the belly button. That belly button signifies life, nativity, the umbilical cord to the baby that forms in the womb of the mother. It is so much that I learned and I try to give, and a lot of people aren't interested in any of this. Matter of fact, I got bullied, harassed, stalked, and I had people that used to come listen to me, not many, but I went down to maybe 2 to 3, maybe at the best, maybe 20 people. But I'm faithful. I'm committed. I came here because I had a feel good that we were on to something when we all were following this guy who was and is an ex-basketball player, and said he wanted to do great things, but it didn't turn out that way. He just turned out to be just another YouTuber. But a lot of things happened in these past 2 years. But my purpose and my mission, when I came here, I was inspired by him, but he wasn't while I was here. I know what I wanted to do, and that was to share me. Good, bad, and indifferent. I love to cuss, y'all. Y'all may not know this because I purposely don't do it as much. But I love it because my dad used to cuss, and I couldn't wait to get grown so that I can cuss. But I could not come on the World Wide Web and just cuss out people like I see and hear people do. I can't do that. I have a level of respect, not only for myself, but for my parents who are no longer with us, but they live in me. And then I have to keep them alive by the way I live my life. I have a son that's 42 years young that I have to continue to live and be the example for. I have nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends. Even my enemies look at me and wonder, how does she do it? So I have an image to uphold, and I do the best I can. I've heard the people from Georgia, they love to use this line. I don't know if it's something special to Georgia, but they love to say they're imperfect beings once they've offended you or done you wrong. But, we were all told that we all were sinners, and if you believe that, then that's what it is. There was a time that I was steeped in Christianity, not so much, but I still hold the principles of the all. I still hold that very dear in my heart. I know those words that are written in King James. No matter why, how, who, I know them. They're hid in my heart. I live by the principles that was given to me by my mom and my dad. And I do fall short of other people's expectations. We all do, sometimes even our own. I ain't trying to be nobody else. I promise you I'm not. I'm just me. I've gone through a lot on this web. But my son warned me that this could happen. And I'm like, oh no, this can't happen to me. I'm not even talking about people. Because they call where I am now, they're calling it the beef sector. We didn't come together in beef. We came together in harmony and talking about our children not being able to read above the 4th grade level. And how a lot of women are emasculating our men and our sons. And, we heard that said by the DA. She's not going to emasculate a man. Right after she emasculated him, she made that statement. Strange fruit, y'all. And I'm not talking about under the poplar tree. I'm talking the behavior of individuals who say they have it together and who have great responsibility. Anybody who has the responsibility of sending a person away from life ought to have enough accountability and responsibility to themselves to be integral, to be as honest as you possibly can. For we know that all truths are half-truths. I study the 7 Hermetic Principles. I even have videos about it. You can even just Google it on YouTube and you can hear the book. But I even read the book. I live my life in a way that's pleasing to me and others. Some may not like it, and it's okay. I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem with what's going on today and what's happening with what we call the church. And then now we got, quote unquote, the black church. But the church is what got us through all of the stories that we've heard. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I really don't. Because we're no further today economically than we were in 1865 at the end of the Civil War. And when we were freed, we still own only 0.1%. We don't own anything as a people. So it's very important to me, it was, to come and share. And I've shared, and I've given keys. And if you're interested in anything that I say, then you can go back and read them. I still read books every now and then, and I read chapters. I've been working on toxic parents. Toxic parents come in all ethnicities and all cultures. Some of us, if we're not today, we were at some point a toxic parent, and we didn't even realize it. That book is written by Dr. Susan Ford. Very good book. Very good book. We would be surprised at the things that moves us and makes us into who we are. A lot of things we say we do because that's just who we are. That's not always true. That's who we become. Because a lot of things we do is based on learned behavior. But I'm going to continue to cover this story. I was going to try to get off into, I was getting ready to go into the criminal, I call it the injustice system, the criminal justice system. And I've been reading on plea bargains, and that's really, really, really a very interesting subject, y'all. Y'all just don't even understand. There's so many good things that we can do if we start reading. And that's what I try to encourage people to start back reading. And it's nothing wrong with a romance novel or two. It's really not. But life is too far spent. We really have some things we need to work on as a people. We need to come together, because it's not a thing that's called racism, discrimination. Yeah, we make a difference in people. We all do that. And we all forgive seemingly the behavior of people that we like more than others. And we know we've been mistreated, and we get mistreated every day, so I'm not taking away from any of that. Please don't get me wrong. Trust me, I understand. The only thing I'm saying to us is it's hegemony, and it's one group dominating over another. So you may not know who they are and what they look like, but they divide us by giving us color, so we can look at each other and already be against each other. Because how do you conquer a house? You got to take over the strong man. How do you take over the strong man? You divide and conquer. So if I keep you hating me for this reason, and you keep me hating you for that reason, we can never come together and see how great we can be together. Because we all came from one woman. So we really have something in common, whether we want to believe we do or not. We do as a people. I see one race, but now I do also see the difference in what they've given us in pigment and hue, as to say color. Yeah, I'm not one of those people. No, I just see reality. And I know it's good in all, and it's bad in all. Because we know it ain't all of nothing but the all. Some call him God, some call him Yahweh, some call him Allah, some call him Buddha. Some call him Jehovah, some call him Elohim. Whatever you call him is fine with me. There was a time that I used to couldn't say that. If you didn't call him God and Jesus the Christ, I didn't have nothing to do with you. But see, I've learned a little different now, and I understand Christ and the degree of being your better self. I understand God in many different forms. So I don't have an issue with people, and you're not going to have one with me. I don't like crazy, comments, negative comments. I don't mind people disagreeing with me, again, because I don't agree to disagree. You just disagree. But I don't tolerate disrespect. And nobody's opinion is better than anybody else's. And what I really try to get people to understand, your opinion is just that, yours. And it doesn't make it right or wrong, but sometimes your opinion can be wrong. It really can be, whether you acknowledge that or not. My thing is just to get people to live into who they are. And I promise you, if you're honest with yourself, you'll be honest with everybody. And now most people ain't gonna like your honesty. And that's why I can be alone. I don't have a problem with that. I've been that way my whole life. So I understand it. My mom used to tell me when I was a kid, girl, you bet your mouth gonna get you in trouble. And I didn't know why she used to tell me that. But I do talk a lot, y'all. But I didn't know it was because of the truth that I was willing to speak and stand for and own. Is what make people really not want to be around you. Because sometimes we don't want to be accountable. I'm the same way. But I am who I am. And I am who I say I am. I don't pretend to be nothing. Certainly not perfect. But then I don't know what perfect is, because we all define words through somebody else's definition. So I learned that we need to look up words because they're very important and they mean something. People don't hear, Dick Gregory taught me this, what you mean. They hear what you say. And it's not what you say, it's what you do that lets a person know who and what they mean to you. So, now that I've said my little spiel, I just had to say that for anybody who's listening this long, so you'll get to know a little bit about who I am. And I'm a ghetto girl, so I'm country one minute and then I get real, proper and defined. I do that. I've been doing it all my life. I love it. I love to sing too. And so when I was being attacked and bullied, I made a lot of funny songs and just to get me through. Everybody cussing me out and calling me all these disrespectful names that I thought I'd never hear from children that are younger than my son and some a little bit older. But it is what it is. And I survived it. I stood on what I believe in, and that's my square. And I took the bully to federal court, and I won a default judgment. It's a clerk's judgment. So I still have to go through the process for the judgment to be enforced, because you can't enforce a judgment. And then there are other things that you can do with a judgment. But I won a $13.0 million judgment. And, everybody laughed when I first filed my suit, and they talked about me, and they laughed. But it's not so funny now. And, some pretend that it's not real, and it's a lie, and I'm delusional, and some know the truth. But I don't have to explain nothing to anybody. What I just ask people to do is to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. Our children are watching us. How can you teach children to be this way and that way, and you're on this World Wide Web being sheeple and just a member of the herd, following the leader, and the leader is leading you off the cliff? You can't do that. I even sued YouTube in that suit, but I found out the hard way that Congress give all platforms a pass. They're not held responsible for what these people say to you online. They're not held responsible for that. It's called the Good Samaritan Clause. But they do censor us and tell us what we can and can't say. And some of that I agree with, some I don't. So I have to just live with what I don't agree with. And I try to respect the platform, because I'm grateful that they gave me a platform. This is an opportunity for anybody. Doesn't matter how much education you have or don't have. You can come on here and share your knowledge with someone else, and you can genuinely get paid to do that. I'm retired. I've been retired for 13 years. I went out on disability. I have a third-degree congenital heart block from birth that I didn't find out until after I gave birth to my son. And then, since I've had a pacemaker for so long, and it's been about 40 years. Now I have congestive heart failure, not to mention all the musculoskeletal issues that I have. But I don't say that for you to feel sorry for me. I am a miracle. I really am. And I'm truly grateful. And a lot of people don't understand. If you feel that way, why do you still smoke cigarettes? I tell y'all, in order to live in this world, for me, I have to do something. And Cool Filthy Kings has been my friend for a very long time, even though I've quit about 6 times, once for 4 years. But we find our way back to each other. And so I'm addicted to the nicotine. And that's what I do. That's what I do. I ask people, please don't pray for me not to cuss and not to smoke. Don't do that. Pray for you not to gossip and for you not to start confusion. Pray for that. Pray for all of us as a people, because people are literally losing their minds, and the social media is really helping them go there. I think people have lost touch with reality. But I tell you what, you guys have tuned in to me for a reason. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that YouTube is allowing my videos to be showed. And I'm grateful that they're now allowing me to have commercials. Because, you know, their language and their community guidelines are so ambiguous to you don't know when you're saying something that could be against, you know, the community guidelines, the terms of service. It's very hard trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, they don't tell you what the problem is when you appeal it until you do your second appeal and they decide they're not going to change it. Then they'll let you know what you did wrong. And I think that if we suggest different, they do listen to us, and perhaps that will change too. But the other part I want to talk about was Ashleigh Merchant once campaigned for Nathan Wade. And so that's what they're bringing up now. It just goes to show you how desperate these people are, that they would bring that up. And like that means something. I want to show y'all this picture. And then I'm going to get off of here because I think I've talked about me a little longer than I had intended. And that's Ashleigh in the t-shirt. And so let me go with this story. Photos reveal Fani Willis' court nemesis campaigned for Nathan Wade, and it was published March 4th, 2024 at 5:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this came from Newsweek. And this is Facebook photos submitted in court by Fani Willis, the Atlanta District Attorney, and Nathan Wade, the chief prosecutor in the Donald Trump election fraud case. Show defense attorney Ashleigh Merchant volunteering for Wade's judgeship election. Now, let's hear this story. You know, and I think that we all need to realize that we reserve the right to change our minds, and we can change our opinions of people when they show us a change. So you can really like somebody in 2016, and in 2024, you don't even have to be talking to them, and you can treat them as if they didn't exist and you never knew them. You could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Give yourself permission. A defense lawyer who claimed that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis' former boyfriend is not qualified to prosecute Donald Trump previously volunteered for his election campaign. Photos revealed in a court have revealed. Oh, it says photos filed in court have revealed. I'm going to take this down, y'all. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to take that down. Ashleigh Merchant, the lawyer for one of Trump's co-defendants in the Georgia election fraud case, made headlines in February after a heated cross-examination of Willis, and again for her cross-examination of the district attorney's former boyfriend, prosecutor Nathan Wade. Merchant, who represents Trump's co-accused Michael Roman, suggested during cross-examination and in court papers that Willis had only hired Wade because they were in a relationship and that Wade was not qualified to prosecute the election fraud case in Georgia. Trump pleaded not guilty to all 13 charges against him and has said the case is politically motivated because he is the front runner for the GOP presidential nomination. Roman, a former Trump staffer, has also pled not guilty to similar charges. In an increasingly bitter court battle, Willis and Wade have now submitted Facebook posts of Merchant campaigning for Wade when he was running for a judgeship in 2016. You know, they have to be awfully desperate to do that, in my opinion. They include photos of Merchant campaigning at a Marietta Greek Festival in Georgia on May 15, 2016. Vote Nathan J. Wade. Enjoy some Greek music while getting the word out, Merchant wrote in the post. Her two photos show the front and back of her Wade campaign t-shirt. A week earlier, on May 9, 2016, she wrote a lengthy post in favor of Wade. Nathan is ethical, she wrote at the time. Nathan has demonstrated his ability to be fair and impartial and to follow the law while serving as a judge. Nathan currently serves as an associate municipal court judge. He is a former Pro Hoc state court judge. Experience matters. Willis' office submitted the Facebook post to Judge Scott McAfee, and it could be McAfee, I don't know how you say his name, forgive me for messing it up, who is overseeing the trial of Trump, Roman, and 13 others in the Georgia election fraud case. And you know what's so funny about that is the young man who started bullying me, I supported him, and I thought he was integral. He had been to prison, so I believe in once you serve your time, then, you're all right. You did what you were supposed to do. I don't like the fact that anybody goes to prison, but it is what it is, and life happens sometime to us. And so, I thought he was a good father. He has children, and he has a wife, and he, cut hair. I thought that it was his own barbershop, but I don't believe it is now. But I supported him. Matter of fact, I donated to him in Cash Apps and Super Chats and all of this good stuff in a 6-month period. $722.33. And he called me all kind of names and bullied me and actually called me a very, very, very derogatory name that caused me to file a defamation case against him. And he did that on YouTube on his live stream. So I once thought he was a great guy. And when he started talking about me and turned on me for what reason, I do not know. But he did ask me to be his manager. And I said no, because I don't know nothing about being a manager. My son helps me with my YouTube. I don't know anything about the computer and YouTube. But I just love to talk and I want to share. And so I just get on here and do what I do. But he showed screenshots of things I had said about him in the chats and stuff. So people really do this stuff as if you can't change your mind. I really thought you were that person, but I'm not clairvoyant and I don't know the operation of people's mind or heart. Now, the word says that the people are wicked. The heart is. So I have to, just believe what is written, because this person just changed on me one day, and then the whole sector. It's kind of remind me when I was in elementary school and the bully gets mad at you, and then everybody in the class gets mad at you. The whole grade. I mean, boy, that's kind of weird, but it happens to us as adults. And we got to know how to handle that. And we got to be able to talk about it and share it. There's so many things that bother us as women and men. So many things that bother us, and we don't really know how to handle it. And sometimes we're too embarrassed and ashamed to talk about it, or especially when you talk about it with people that you know, because when they get angry at you, then that's the first thing they'll throw up, your weaknesses. So sometimes you got to get help. And we as a people, Asiatic, we don't really believe in therapy, but I tell you, it's very liberating. And you have to pick the right one. Anytime you go for an hour session and you've spent 30 minutes talking about the therapist, then you're in the wrong place. They don't tell you what to do. What they do for you is give you other ways to look at things and give you other ideas on how you can handle things. But, we already know that whatever we do, I call it the you factor. Only you can do it. It's just like this place here. It's called YouTube. It's all about you. And you make it the best you can for others. But if you're not satisfied, it's just like being on a job that you don't like doing. You're not going to give your best. And now, none of us probably, some of us do, really want to work and like to work. I always wanted to be a housewife, but I didn't get to do that. But I did work for 42 years. And so I do understand. But these people act like we don't reserve the right to change our minds when they show us different. So back to the story. Newsweek sought comment on Sunday from Merchant via Facebook Messenger and from Willis' office via email. Writing about herself in the third person in a reply brief, Merchant accepted that she campaigned for Wade, but said she only did so because the other candidate was accused of judicial misconduct. Included in the district attorney's response are pictures from Mr. Roman's counsel's Facebook page showing that she supported Wade in his 2016 judicial race against incumbent Reuben Green. It is no secret that Mr. Roman's counsel worked tirelessly to defeat the incumbent judge against whom Wade ran, Merchant wrote in her reply brief. With only two candidates in the race, one of whom had been accused of serious judicial misconduct, Wade was most definitely the most qualified of the candidates on the ballot. Her posts are no longer publicly available. Since 2010, Wade has run for Cobb County Superior Court judge at least 4 times. He twice challenged incumbent Judge Reuben Green, including in 2016 when Green was mired in ethics complaints stemming from alleged conflicts of interest that ultimately prompted the Georgia Supreme Court to vacate several convictions, the Washington Post reported. She also reiterated that it was Wade and Willis who had ethical questions to answer. If they had nothing to hide in the first place because they did nothing wrong, then why did they intentionally not tell anyone about it until they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar? This highlights the very reason why this court cannot just take their word for it, he wrote. So in their court filings, they decided to tell the court that at one time she cared about Nathan so much, she campaigned for him. Well, the judge can even say he cared about him so much that he even donated to him. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. A lot of people act like that's a real big deal. I give to people all the time, and especially I done gave to so many people on YouTube, and they don't give to me, but it is what it is. You give because you give, if you're a giver. And then if you give, you receive. It may not be from the person you gave to. I tell you, they call it pocket watching on YouTube. You can't mention anything. You can't say anything, or you're going to be critiqued so bad. but I love it. And I would encourage anybody, if you love to cook, if you love to clean up, if you love to organize, you could actually literally get paid for doing that and never leave your home. I mean, literally. It's so many people out of work. This is a way for real to make money. It really is. And so I don't get a lot. I don't get a lot of cash apps and all of that, but I do get. And I have a faithful few. And I'm so very grateful. They have really helped me through some hard times, and they didn't even know it. But that's what it's all about, not knowing it and being of service to somebody anyway. You know, it's good when you do know, but it's even better when you help somebody and they don't know and you don't know and you just go on about your way. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to be coming back with some good stuff. I went and got some of the documents. I'm going to do a story about how just low down and dirty this Nathan Wade guy is, and how devious the district attorney is. And we're going to talk a little bit about the papers they filed in court. And thank goodness those are public records. And so I'll be sharing those documents on Wednesday. So please join me on Wednesday if you get an opportunity. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like, share, subscribe if you like it, and consider becoming a member. I have memberships, and I give away some great perks. I give away a massage a month, but I can't get people to tell me if they have a Massage Envy in their town. I have a Massage Envy membership, and I have so many because in the last year and a half, I don't too much leave the house. And so I have so many, and so I give them away one a month. I can only give away one a month. But it's very hard to get my people to give me their information. And I'm not saying you got to give me your information. You do have to email me, and then you can call Massage Envy and give them the information. But I just, that's one of the perks. And then the others, I have merchandise, and then I give you a percentage off of the merchandise. I have t-shirts, coffee mugs, ink pens, keychains, journals, because one of the things that I really suggest to anybody, the way to healing is writing. And you can write, and you don't write for others to see. You write for yourself, just to clean you out. And it really, really, really helps. You can write and you can tear it up and throw it away. You can write, you can burn it, you can write and you can keep it, and you can look at how far you come from one day to another. So it's your choice on how you choose to do it. But I love people. I am a people person, and I accept people for who they say they are. And sometimes that's to my detriment, because I am who I say I am. I change it not. You don't know all of me when you meet me. So if you hear me say something or sound a certain way, yeah, that's me. All of that's me. I'm a drama queen. I'm a Scorpio, October born, and I'm very saddened that this woman was born a day after me. I cannot believe it. But, we have good and bad in everything. And somebody probably feel about me the way I see her. So that's how life goes. One thing that we know is she used all of these Christian songs and running to the church, but she wasn't running and confessing when she was running to this woman's husband. And just some of the things that she said in those pleadings is just downright unbelievable. But you guys are here if you tune in. But again, like I told you all, I love to sing. And when I was going through with the bullying, and I had about 12 to 15 content creators and about 5 or 6 subscribers holding panels about me every single day. and making videos about me. And nothing was done about it. Now they so bullified to now I can't even say a word. Um, it's amazing how things work, but it's okay because I can adjust and adapt. I was taught to bend, but don't break. So I'm flexible and I do my best to follow the rules. But one of the scriptures she used is one, my favorite singer of the gospel, Fred Hammond, sang, and it was No Weapon. And so I'm going to leave on No Weapon. Um, then I'm going to also play My Greatest Love, because I love that, because I truly believe the children are the future and we truly need to teach them well. And we need to give them a sense of pride, and so that they can love themselves and stand for something. And on that note, I hope you guys will join me on Wednesday, the 6th of March at 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will be bringing my live. I go live every Wednesday and every Sunday. And every now and then I'll make a video in between, because sometimes I don't have the energy and the strength, so I just do it my way. But I'm committed to the Wednesdays and Sundays, and so that's what I try to do. I'm not always live, and sometimes that could be a problem, but even though I want to receive a check every month from YouTube and super chats and super thanks and cash apps, I'm not willing to do anything for money, and it's just a medium of exchange. And whatever I get, I'm going to be grateful, and whatever I don't, it's not going to stop me from doing what I love to do, and that's this. So I will be doing this whether it's one person or 1,000, 1,000,000. This is what I love to do. So I want to thank you all if you stayed this long, especially if you're new to the channel. I greatly appreciate you. I was going down. I lose people every other day, and I'm going back up. So I want to just thank you guys, and I appreciate you. And on that note, I am going to bid you guys goodbye. I'm leaving the tiger's den. Have a beautiful one. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. You see, Cheryl will do what she said she will do. She will stand by her word and see it through. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. There just ain't one weapon, no. You see, I'm the weapon, and I do what I say I'm going to do. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us who we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of takes you to a lonely place, find yourself in love.